A lot of people have asked, so I finally made an instrument rack pack. I'm going to be showcasing the new instrument pack and the updates I've made to the Dank sauces rack pack. This saucer kick, which should easily cut through any mix, and you can randomize this one as well. It's in all my default projects. I love using it and figured it could be helpful to share this with everyone else, considering I haven't found many good kicks and sample packs lately. I have a lot of keys in this pack. This one's analog feels. And I want to emphasize that everything in this instrument rack pack is completely randomizable to get new variations of stuff. Lush keys, which I like to use to set the mood of songs a lot. I also recommend using the random button on this. It doesn't affect your key. Ocean color base. Spectral bubble. Spectral icing, which is kind of the cousin of that one, which has a lot of randomizable reverb settings. And super cute video game keys, which is cool to change the wave or make it evolve over time. Now, a lot of these racks have intended to be like starter points, so you load effects up after it. Here's with RC23 on it. Moving on to some of the basses, I have this aggro face bass. You can get a lot of different sounds out of this with the randomizer. This one I could get wrapped up in for hours, honestly. I have this Baba Booey metal trap synth. This basic yoi for starting yoi kind of sounds. This one could take a second to load up, but this bass preset select has a knob where you can switch between all these 128 bass presets. I personally like to put my bass enhancer after it. You can easily go into the preset and change it. Here's my Dank Reese. I have Dirty and Disgusting and Gross. Epic FM bass. Factory Builder, which comes with the factory mod built into it. So you can randomize both of these at different times. This fob bass, which you can make it talk. There's this kick 808 combo, which has a kick and 808 built into it. One of my favorites, the Scary Sprite, because you can change one knob. That was more than one, but it's a completely different sound now. one for the rhythm. A starter kit for making your own sustained bass, which has a bunch of things tweaked so it's easy for you to make something super fucked up without anything. It's just, and you can start loading up with like Saturate or something. Maybe put it on like Wave Shaper. And then duplicate and get like a hybrid reverb. And then your low end is like totally fine. You can adjust where the high end distortion stops and how much of the low end you want to isolate from mud, or whether you want to just keep the dry signal instead of just having low end. I have some cool effects that I also use regularly, like a high end sizzle you can put in the background of stuff, and it sounds different depending on which octave you're on. This is a laser zap thing, which you can also use as a lead if you wanted to. Also super randomizable. This operator riser, which you can get a lot of variation out of. This water starter you can use to basically start any water sound. I have some other drums besides the kick, like rim synthesizer. I have this metallic snare. Which you can change the transient and algorithm. And then finally I have some hybrid trap leads, this basic trap synth you can start with. I have this quacky bottler, kind of a crazy. And also this whooper, which I love to use in build-ups. And I think that's all. I may have missed one maybe. This pack will be updated over the future to at least double the amount of instruments and kind of instruments that are going to be in there. I already have some new ideas that I'm working on for it. Link to my Gumroads in my description. But now I want to move on to, if you have the Dank Rec Pack, 2 free updates have come out since it's released. There are now 19 new recs. So on a saw wave, here's Gazam, which is basically a fucked wubbing. Got a bunch of LFO things to customize this, and also you can choose the kind of reverb it distorts. So that one should be cool if you're big into rhythm dubstep shit. I have Factory Mod, which is another kind of bass. I just love the metallic feel that this one does. And you can find a bunch of new territories with the random button. So I got Retro Telephone here, which is just like a knob for introducing your sound or like fake outs or something. This shifter multiplier is like a cool like texture maker / FX kind of generator. You can get some cool like stereo effects with backgrounds of like drops or whatever. EQ multiplier, which is very dangerous if you don't have like a limiter, like compressor, clipper kind of thing, because it's just you can multiply a bunch of like EQs to make this like a magnifying glass kind of effect, like we're already redlining. And of course you have this multiply knob to control how many EQs are doing this. Then I got phase out here, which is a one knobber for the classic phasing out effect, like in Bad Guy by Billie Eilish. You can even duplicate them. So that's the DLC one for the Dank Sauces Rack Pack. It's free if you already have it. Now I'm going to show you the second one that just came out. I'll start with this base garbage, which is basically my version of Isotope Trash. And you can basically double the intensity with this, double it and give it to the next person. There's RC23, which is pretty much the improved version of RC22, and basically you can just make dreamy analog kind of synths like pretty fast. Also very randomizable. We got a cabinet knob so you can change the kind of speakers coming out of. Definitely one of my new favorites. Here's Stereo Grain, which is like an easy kind of Haas kind of stereo riser. Here's Fucked Up Vocoder. This isn't really a macro kind of rack, this is more of a you put it on and let it do fucked up shit for you. The rest of these, I really wanted to have some kind of drum and like texture kind of racks, so say you use like Foley or something. I have this little texturizer which kind of turns it into like a little texture that you could using in the backgrounds of your stuff. This one's also pretty randomizable. And if there's no sound playing, you just gotta play with this gate threshold because it kind of determines the drippiness of your sound. Then of course I have Big Check Texturizer, which is more advanced considering it adds some stereo grain elements. Really great for ambient backgrounds. I have this color washer for noise. It works really well on like noisy kind of sounds like that are like not as tonal to make them into chords, so you can control whether it plays a major or minor chord. And I have all of like the roots able to select. So say I want to make a song like G minor, I have all the chords to be able to switch to. And you can turn off whether it plays a 7th or the octave or the triad, such as playing the 1st and 5th. You can also control the timbre with these decay, color, and this watch. I also have a similar one, which is Color Wind Generator. Automatically generates colorful wind, and if you feel like your drums aren't hitting too much in the high end, I have this dynamic noise stopper. So I also have been trying to make my own snares lately. So you can take like a whole big like reverb, shorten it, even turn off the warp and then turn up the pitch, and then turn it into a brand new snare with my drum buddy, also completely randomizable. So now if I make like a beat pattern, you can put this lo-fi drum bus on your drum group to kind of glue them together. I really like using this in things that aren't the drop, so it's kind of like the drums aren't being too intense for like the verse beats or something. Also completely randomizable. That's all for the Dank Sauces Rack Pack update, which is free if you already have the pack. You can find it in the description. Let me know what other racks and videos you want to see.